But we'll see if we can turn it around.
Yo, I love that you're talking about Trick already, because there's already some banter going on in the pregame chat. They're saying, hey, go for the full clear on Rek'Sai, man, then find a gank. And I'm just like over here seething, you know? But Trick was having a good time with it on Twitter too, trying to track his opponent. We'll see what he does here against Jankos this time around. Often heralded as the best jungler in Europe.
Lucian and Kali, so far nothing too crazy. Senna gonna get banned as well, and honestly, I think Senna is the most ludicrously powerful champion that we've seen in a long time. Obviously, Aphelios is gonna look really strong when he's got a lead, when he's set up for success, but I think Senna is just pretty much always good.
Yeah, Senna, of course, with the range, eventually you get to a point where you can be unbeatable, or so it seems. We haven't seen a lot of teams be able to find a ton of success against that. Now, with Aphelios taken off the board as well, our eyes start looking more towards the Misfortunes as SK are hovering it. Of course, Zyra still open and available. I know when Perkz swapped to bot lane initially, he was a big fan of that Zyra. They loved that pick themselves, and look at that. There you go. They do it themselves.
Zai gonna get locked in along with the Lee Sin. They don't need to pick up the Rakan quite yet. It doesn't seem like they're worried about SK taking it. SK in a tough spot, though. Feels like they have to take the Braum to make sure that G2 Esports don't get their hands on it, to ensure that the MF can do her thing. But it seems like they have different ideas.
Well, I mean, I would expect the Jarvan into Leona right here, and you just go for the massive combo, of course. We have heard different pro players have different opinions on the Leona versus Rakan matchup. We expect, of course, G2 to pick that one up, whether or not Leona having that point-and-click CC is enough to beat him, or whether or not, because he has so much mobility, can she actually hit him? It's definitely a matchup you can win with a lot of skill on the side of the Rakan.
Well, Mikyx is one of the guys who firmly believes that Rakan has the advantage because he's the guy with all the extra mobility. He's the guy that can kind of dictate the pace of the engage. Yes, if he goes in at the wrong time, Leona punishes, but Rakan's the one who gets to decide. More often than not, and the Rakan will be locked in.
It's really easy to say that, you know, your matchup is a winning matchup when you're just the best support in the region. It's just like,
that's true.
That's an easy one.
That's true. But I'm not counting Limit out. I'm curious to see what they're going to put into his hands. LeBlanc and the Thresh will be taken away. Makes a lot of sense. Ooh, Nautilus as well. A lot of respect bans. They're really making sure that Cabs and Mikyx are set up here.
Mikyx's like, yeah, I want to play against the Leona. I want to have some fun here. You know, wow. I like this matchup a lot.
Singling out that matchup.
Yeah. At the same time, like, I'm looking at over what SK have, and I think next to this Misfortune, I want them to draft something with high DPS. So I'd be looking towards maybe a Cassiopeia, perhaps. The Rise, of course, open as well. I'd really like to see Jenax's hand on that, because right now you have a lot of wombo combo. You just need to make sure that you have that consistent DPS to be able to finish off all those targets. They get caught in the initial burst.
Yeah, so far we have just an impossible team to fight against. The Galio would be very surprising. I would be a bit concerned about that pick.
I mean, it would be like team circles if you went for Galio. It's like, can you layer him down?
Frost would call it the Venn diagram comp, but I love the Cassio here.
Yep. You know, I was talking about it earlier. I think that's going to be super good into their composition, of course, too. When Rakan comes flying at you, when Lee Sin comes flying at you, they're facing you. So you can land that Petrifying Gaze very, very easily.
And now, Mikyx playing with their hearts a bit. It will be the Zoe.
Yes. I love it. I love it. I really like Zoe as an answer into a lot of these, you know, DPS mages, just because you can outrange them, right? Like, if you're both melee range on top of each other, Cassiopeia versus Zoe, Cassiopeia is going to win every single time, but the second that Zoe's able to use walls to extend the range of her sleepy bubble, you can look to just never take a fight until you've chunked down your opponents, and that is definitely what Perkz must be going for this match.
I love it. Yeah, we have so many pick tools on the side of G2. You've got a Lee Sin with the kick, you've got the Rakan for the engage, Zoe with the sleepy trouble bubbles on the opposite side. You've got really the true definition of a wombo combo. If they get that set up, if they can lay a miasma down on top of Misfortune ult, everyone on G2 Esports will die. But that setup is so hard to pull off. We've seen G2 dismantle teams that are so focused on a single thing. But the question is, can SK set the record straight? Can they put themselves up in this matchup versus G2 Esports, our final matchup of week 1?
Never want to limit yourself when you go against G2. Go hard in the early game. Try to go against them early on, but the crowd will always be against you here in Europe. A lot of G2 jerseys, G2 flags in the audience today, getting ready for a final match.
As am I. Oh man, there's just so much that I'm ready to see. I want to see bot lanes. I want to see top lane go toe-to-toe, Aatrox versus Ornn. I know it sounds boring to you, but I'm hype on that matchup. It's everything I want to end out week 1 here at the LEC. And here we are. And what a way to end the week. G2 versus SK. That is a very long scream, sir. Your lung capacity is fantastic. Have you considered being a shoutcaster?
Putting us to shame up here. I'm like halfway through a sentence, like. All
right.
I like we got the same track of mind.
Yeah. All right. League of Legends, exciting game. And the first thing that I want to talk about, short of a level 1, but it appears both teams are starting quite defensively. I want to talk about jungle, because as always, jungle is very important to you, Ender, as a jungle main yourself, and it's important to me because Trick is a guy that we've seen a lot of different forms of, and one of those forms is the herbivore jungler. We saw it yesterday. Crazy jungle proximity. Not a lot happening, not a lot getting done, but that has to change against a team like G2.
Yeah, honestly, like when you look at these stats, your eyes just sort of like pop out of your head when you consider it was a Rek'Sai as well. A lot of early game performance that you can get on that champion. On the Jarvan, we need to see more from him. I'm going to be honest right here. You must be able to impact the game earlier on. Now, of course, against the Lee Sin, those fights can get a little bit interesting. And already Jankos is going to start off the game by going for this late invade. And I don't think there was a ward to actually spot them out because, of course, the SK ward is inside the Dragon Pit to see if Jankos started on his own buff and then went for a wall hop here. So unless Trick is able to mirror it on the other side, that's going to be a really big loss because no red buff on Jarvan means you can't really gank.
Yeah, now forced to split map here. Jankos will move up. We're sweeping out the ward, gives him a little bit of info, is going to make Trick feel very comfortable moving in to take this red buff and EQ without worrying about needing those cooldowns for a fight. But a lot of time spent pathing over, and Jankos is now set up to gank mid or bot lane pretty much at will. And Wunder, interesting enough, could now be the one who loses here as he has to play on the weak side.
Yeah, so I was wondering if Trick was going to go for an immediate level 2 gank or if he was going to go to Krugs first, because including Krugs in his first clear, still, even though they give you less experience, they still will give you that level 3 mark. The Jenax in trouble.
That's just a good bit of poke, making sure that Perkz is a bit more comfortable in the lane. Always have to respect, of course, the Cassio level 2. She can't just burn through her entire mana pool to win out on a trade. Kind of put you within the inch of death, but Trick is just going to back now. Level advantage, but definitely not a health advantage here as Jankos is going to move in. And spot that the Krugs have been taken. Mikyx locked up. The follow-up is there as well. Cap's coming in. No pullback, though, as he's only level 2.
Now Jankos, he probably just walks into the enemy jungle now because he knows Trick is either in there and pretty low HP because he took Krugs and on Jarvan will run you relatively low, or Trick took a base. So if he is able to spot him out on the ward, which will probably die before Trick passes over it, he would know for sure. But this is a good play coming through from Jankos. Also should tick over towards level 3. And now Trick, not wasting any time, I want to see him go for a play bot side.
Sweeper, he knows he's unspotted. Only level 2, no snare going to be there for Caps.
They're telegraphing it.
Flash in, they're going to be able to get the knockup. The knockup is there to follow up, but now they have no way to interrupt Trick. They're waiting, they're trying to force Caps' flash so they can EQ, they can guarantee it, but he's still going to get the first blood. Mikyx not going to walk away with a single thing. Fantastic early gank from the side of SK.
And the patience was very good there from Trick as well. He knew all he had to do was walk forward, slow with the W, and then apply the auto attack. Wait, they can just kill him again.
This is very risky. They're just going to EQ. No. Oh. They're going to back off. They're not entirely sure where Jankos is, it looks like, so they are going to back off. But that now is Mikyx stunned up, locked down, and dead.
Oh, no. So that's why we say Leona counters Rakan, and I wonder if Mikyx changes his mind about his opinions on this matchup after that play. Because it starts off, right? And this is what I'm saying. Trick doesn't waste the EQ because that means Caps can flash. At this point, Caps should never flash, right? He gets hit by it anyways. You're going to go down. He should have held on to that summoner spell, but very well played from SK regardless. And then this teleport, I honestly think SK are giving G2 too much credit. They're like, wait, could Jankos actually be here? Do we actually want to go in on this? But then they say, no, we just hit level 3. There's no chance that G2 can actually fight it. These are the types of plays that you go, okay, G2, like, we know you're better than this.
Oh, finishing off the camp, because it looks like Jankos did not complete the Raptors when he started on that side. Maybe? Or like,
yeah. So Jankos didn't finish the Raptors.
Okay,
he just counter-jungled them, which is the right call in almost all situations.
Ender, to me, that just felt, frankly, disrespectful. I don't think, like, appreciating that SK was going to be patient, putting themselves in a position where they could just get ganked like that, because they know that Trick is not on top side. Jankos is there in the jungle, taking Trick's jungle as this play happens. And now he's bot side again. I like this. It's a simple strategy, but it's an effective one. Just camp the lane.
And there's no flash on Caps now. Mikyx still has his, so they shouldn't be able to jump onto him with all of the dashes
walking up.
he has in his kit. But I do really like how Crownshot and Limit are playing this because they're holding the minion wave in front of their tower. And because of the power that they were able to get those couple of kills, now it's really hard for Caps to actually walk up and try to wave clear away and fully push it into the tower.
Jankos is here just in case a play happens. Perkz is here as well. He has a level advantage, but not knight of advantage. No challenging smite could be a problem, but he will just back off. Sacre is now forced out of lane. We'll get a bit more tanky, though, when he does manage to back and buy another item. Interesting. Trick spending a lot of resources to make sure this bot lane can just really do whatever it wants.
Yeah, now G2 know that he's there because they saw him put down that control ward, so Mikyx just going to leave the lane. Look for a gank in mid.
Has to be careful here. You can tell he's trying to bait Jenax in, but now that he's picked up a cleanse, it's a bit safer, but Mikyx is still level 3.
Yeah.
Very
Also,
squishy.
both Perkz and Jenax really low on mana. Perkz running the heal as well, not the ignite, so wouldn't quite have that same all-in potential if they were able to try and jump on towards Jenax right there. But now Limit with his mob, he's just going to try to run him down.
Mikyx has to be careful. Will manage to make it out. No one quite close enough to stop him. Limit with no flash, could not flash Shield of Daybreak to deny that exit.
So one of the big wins for G2 in the bottom lane, there haven't been many of them, but it's the fact that CS is still looking all right for Caps so far because he did run the teleport. Obviously, he was more gankable, didn't have the combat summoner to stay alive, but was able to come back into lane. And even with Mikyx dying, stuck around to pick up the minions. So that will end up being all right for him. And you can see that Jankos still wants to give attention towards bot side, towards that flashless Caps with the way he's playing these invades. You know, he has the respawn timer on the red buff, as well as the Raptors too, because they had a ward over there. So they just want to make sure they split the map. Not entirely, though, which is a little bit interesting.
Ooh, right as the crab responds too. This is just excellent pathing and timing from Jankos.
I mean, but that's the thing, right? Because the red buff did just spawn on SK's side, and they should be aware, seeing Jenax walk towards the top side of mid lane, that, you know, that's when blue buff is going to be respawning. You get the timer on that as well, so he could have played it a little bit more aggressively. But now he's going to wait until maybe Perkz is able to push in that minion wave and then go for the fight. But
okay, he sees Trick moving in. He has Smite available. He's just going to move in and fight. Challenging Smite, laying down a little bit of damage, not enough energy to follow up. Will force Trick away. Cassio's going to have to give up any kind of mid-priority to come contest this buff. And G2 already pushing in bottom side means Jankos gets this buff uncontested. Really well-coordinated play there.
It's really interesting how long he waited too, right? You know, maybe saying like, is Trick actually going to be here? Then, unfortunately, it's when you least expect it. Wait a second.
No, that's not where you want to be. They knew. He was attempted. And why? I guess he was going over to do Krugs?
So, no. This is exactly what happened. Trick was like, hey, Jankos is on my Krugs, try to stop him. I'm just like, kid, don't do Krugs. They're bad.
Live life Krug free.
Krug addict.
It's fine. It's the new meta. Things are different in 2020. Just can't do Krugs anymore. Anywho, SK are in the meantime going to be able to grab this one. The sad news is last time we saw Herbivore Trick was farming constantly, was everywhere, just clearing, and now we're seeing on J4, he's much more about kind of trying to force these aggressive plays. The downside is he's fallen super far behind in terms of jungle experience, even after taking that Herald, level 4 to level 6. If Jankos finds him, that's a free 1v1.
Yeah, Jake has not been having the greatest of times here. This is going to be one of those games where not having access to catch-up experience anymore, which was of course, whenever you're a level under a jungle camp, when you kill a large monster, you get 50 bonus experience, and that's a lot, right? So Trick no longer receiving that on the Season 10 patch is going to be hurting and just probably permanently behind Jankos unless we see the landscape of the game change completely, you know, over the coming minutes.
And the thing, too, is with champions like Azaya, like a Lee Sin and Aatrox, even a Zoe, if you walk in and you're under-leveled, yeah, your mid laner might kill them, but they might just one-shot you.
It doesn't matter how many tank stats you build, too, because just the gold value you effectively gain from leveling up in terms of much armor, MR, you know, HP, all these different things, it's massive and can't be understated.
Mikyx and Caps setting up on the top side of the map. Back pinks coming out. Looks like Jankos will back off. There's a control ward in the river for SK. Limit, though, does definitely have to be careful here. Leona just as vulnerable in this play as any other champion. They're moving down.
Mikyx just hit 6.
Going in. Timing is good there. Crownshot now in trouble. The Leona disrupting is not going to mean a whole lot because Jankos is so powerful. Doesn't even need the safeguard out. Clean tower tanking there from Mikyx to make sure his jungler could get that kill.
Yep, really nicely done there from G2 to layer everything just about perfectly. And at the same time, you can see some of that experience on the other side of the map. Wunder, instead of going bot lane where he didn't have a lot of vision necessarily, when he knew he was going to be on the weak side, played back, but Perkz.
Limit now trying to turn the plays back.
Yeah, that's the movement speed you get from the not just the heal, but also Zoe's W passive whenever you use the summoner spell. Able to skirt on out of there, no problem. Even against the Moby Boots Leona that was going to be charging on in very, very quickly. Now SK, they're trying to set up this sort of sweet play on to Caps. Caps didn't get back to Mikyx though. He could have walked to Mikyx, pressed the B button, that's their passive.
I think he wanted the plate though, but Trick's on the way. Just uses the ult, can flash back to safety. They can't really follow up. Definitely not ideal to lose the flash there, but not going to come at any greater cost. Mikyx now on the way. They could look for the dive. Trick, of course, has also the Herald. But they're just going to back off here. A bit of indecision by the side of SK. Once again, giving G2, I think, the benefit of the doubt. There's no sums for Caps, no mana really either. They don't want to go for the dive anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Trick is still level 5, and Limit has no mana either, so I can sort of see what they're going for. Of course, now they see Jankos on the Ocean Drake, and they're like, immediately, we have to drop the Herald in the top lane. We need to get something else for this. I feel like that's what Trick looks like he's going to try and path into after he finishes off Gromp. Does take him to level 6 as well, so a flashless Caps and ultless Caps will be vulnerable if he walks top lane by himself, which is what it appears to be right now.
Trick's there, summoning. It's going to be some extra gold. Looks like they want to split it between Crownshot and Limit, though. Or is Limit going to back away and try to make sure this all goes over to Crownshot? Stay in range. He's not going to stay in range. No one's going to get the tower gold. They will grab it still. Mikyx's going to find the knockup. Wunder's in the midst of the fight. Limit will get taken down here. That's a quick kill for the side of G2. Still a tower, though, to stop that.
And Jankos is on the side as well. He has his ultimate, so Trick recalling while Crownshot doesn't is a massive mistake. Jankos going to run him all the way down.
Kicking back. Misfortune now on the way in. Mikyx trying to find a way to Jankos. Will not use him as a bridge to dive any further. The TP used bot lane from Caps to deny the push coming in from the Ornn, and G2 just want to grab a tower play here.
It's classic G2, right? Abusing their teleport advantages. First to bring Wunder into the play, grouping up his 5 members in one side. Then the second they see all the members of SK Gaming, well then, Caps is now free to teleport bot lane. They lose nothing on the play, whereas they were able to get that kill on towards Limit, to get a lot of pressure back for themselves and hold on to that tower.
Sadly, for Limit and Trick, it just feels like it's been a lot of running around the map without seeing a lot of immediate results. Obviously, still 2-2 in terms of the kill score, but you can't help but feel this is a very similar story to the Mad Lions game, where at any moment, G2 could start to take over. That's still a level 10 Aatrox. Jankos is coming over the wall. That is not the fight that they wanted. Jenax on the way might be enough to turn the fight back. That's going to do it. Well played there by SK. Jankos, though, may fish for this one. Is going to go in with a flash backwards from Jenax. So impressive, though. Jankos now knocked up. Can they help him get the kill? Jankos is going to make it out of safety. He's burning, but it's not quite. Jenax needs to make it out of this one. He sidesteps. Jenax is so clean. Jenax, are you kidding me? Oh, Jankos takes him down. A fantastic moment of movement from the side of SK, but still not enough.
Oh, Jenax played that so beautifully, of course, with Petrifying Gaze. Now Trick just has to dodge skill shots, but it's not that easy when they're going literally everywhere.
Limit can come in. They're all very low.
Oh,
Trick,
no, that's it.
He's going to go and he's stunned mid-air, but Crownshot's there. Jankos. That's the shutdown. That's going to be a big deal. Crownshot, with the first time already completed, going to be snowballed to the second.
Same time, I'm pretty sure Perkz dropped every single auto attack. He hops over the wall the first time to try and get the empowered one. I don't think he actually lands it. Then he autos the tower when Trick is underneath. It is a 1-for-1 in the end. Caps not able to land the root onto Crownshot right there. So this time, does he press B at the same time? He's learning. He's learning, guys. 2 games in, and he's already mastered the champion.
The true sign of a duo right there. Beautiful performance. All right, let's look back at this, because this looked very bad to me. This looked like flashbacks to last game when Bwipo was 1v3.
Yeah, but here's the thing. In the bottom lane, Sacre has Ghost Ignite with his spellbook, so he actually can't enter this fight. He is stuck without a teleport, thanks to that rune. Don't know if it was actually up, but then that's a really clean play there from Jenax, extending backwards to give himself time to cast the ultimate. Oh, and then see, he drops the auto. Perkz drops the auto. He could have killed him right there. So then it's Jankos that ends up picking the kill. And then watch it. He does it. Okay.
We're fine.
I just wanted to flame Perkz.
What's incredible is Wunder's 6-0 record on Aatrox.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not what I was going to talk about.
Crazy.
Mikyx can't 1v1 a misfortune, despite what he might think. No, I lost my train of thought. 6-0 on record on Wunder.
Yeah, that's what you were going to talk about, right?
Oh, what I was going to talk about. Oh, I was going to say is SK came out on top in gold.
Sweet.
They were taking bot lane. They were making things happen in the meantime.
Hey, you know, I'll give it to them. And now they're setting up, and actually right now Sacre is roaming up through the river with that pressure he gained down bot side. They're trying to set up for this Herald, and they should be able to. They have all their cooldowns ready to go.
This is the moment. G2, I don't think should take this fight. They have to be very careful because this is the wombo combo. If they come down that ramp, they're instantly going to get dove on. And
yeah, they can't do it, right? At best, they were going to look for a steal right there, but it will be Trick who picks that one up because Wunder stuck down bot side without the teleport. Now, I think SK should be able to take top lane tower without casting the Herald. Unless, no, Jankos moving through the river. They're going on him. He flashes away. Oh, no, that was Limit's flash. He just hopped away.
He hopped away.
Worth.
And you got to wonder if nerves start to set in for SK because they're doing well. Their carries are doing fine. The Ornn has been farming for a long time. They're not behind G2 at all. So you have to wonder if they're just a bit too eager to try and force these plays. Oh, but now it's going to be an explosion of gold for G2.
They just get 2 towers right there. SK still have that Herald, so their goal should be to use that to try and break the mid lane tower in the next few minutes. The most valuable one on the map for sure. But a lot of good news for G2, not just the 2 towers they picked up, but also for a Zoe player, I understand how frustrating it can be to play on the Infernal map when all of a sudden you lose all your walls, you lose a lot of brushes, or the Ocean map when all of a sudden there's all these honey fruits around, you can keep yourself high HP. Well, we got an Ocean Drake first, we got an Infernal Drake second. That means we're either on a Cloud map or we're on a mountain map. So
both of which are infuriating to deal with the Zoe.
So Zoe loves it. The mountain map especially, you get all those extra walls you can play with, especially when we get later into team fights and sometimes players don't necessarily line up against the conventional walls. As soon as one moves into your jungle, you have a lot more to work with.
It's interesting too, because I just feel like we've been seeing G2 kind of ramp up. Yesterday's early game, I'll be honest, was a bit abysmal. Negative 2.5K. They've been keeping it a lot closer this time around, but still, I feel like we're not seeing dominance from start to finish the way we saw in Fnatic versus Misfits earlier. It feels like G2 are slowly winning incrementally, but it's not quite the massive displays of dominance that we're used to seeing from this team.
And I don't think anyone really expected, right, that in week number 1, as Jankos looks for this massive flank.
Massive Q coming in. Trick now kicked back, his stun's there, but the entire team fight is disjointed. Jankos off to the backside. Meanwhile, Mikyx and Caps are finding kills. SK have split and instantly lost the fight 2-0 in favor of G2.
That was brutal. Jenax was trying to go for the 1v2, just got jumped on by both Caps and Mikyx. Had absolutely no chance right there, and frankly, SK weren't able to use their big ultimates in the fight. They weren't able to find that combo.
Perkz lining up. He took a flash. He's not going to commit to it. Has a stolen flash, can't make it out, but is still waiting and still biding his time. Wunder could come over the wall. The team commits for this, so they're just going to go down. Sleepy Trouble Bubble is going to proc and instantly Limit dies.
You can't catch Zoe. Come on, she got the flash.
Oh, no.
The whole time, 2 Caps running top lane. It's like, I've watched Perkz play bot lane before. I know you're supposed to go side lane and farm. While the rest of the team is getting kills. This is the fight one more time because, again, at the start, it's SK thinking, hey, we're grouped up, this is a good fight, but this double flank from G2 is brutal. And then Jenax is stuck up here as Mikyx hops over the wall, so he gets instantly CC'd up without anyone to protect him. The fight just went completely wrong for them, and I think that that's something they need to investigate, especially playing against a player like Mikyx. Like a team like G2, these guys are always going to try and jump at you from the Fog of War.
And it's also very hard to ward for Rakan. He has so much mobility when you count the opportunity, of course, the movement speed from the ultimate, in addition to leaping to an ally and then leaping on top of you. It's hard to completely ward him out. Ouch. Big damage. Mikyx, though, suddenly caught in the middle of the enemy team, but it might not matter because now everyone is getting taken down. Trick trying to run for the hills. Jankos going to fish for the kill. The knockup, though, going to stop him. Trick now still running. Trick still alive. Limit will go down. Another kill going down, burning from the red smite. A double kill for Jankos, and SK are quickly running out of options.
Yeah, Perkz just waiting, look for some pot shots underneath the tower. Big, not that big damage. I saw Zoe Q, I thought it was going to be big damage, then it's Ornn with 1 MR item.
But
Jenax.
Yeah, fishing for the 1v1. You could definitely have the 1v1, but sadly, too many members of G2 nearby, so cannot get anything done there. And G2 are going to grab another tower. We went from slight lead for SK to dead even to 3K gold lead for G2 in a matter of minutes. You know, when you talk about G2, it is always that explosive mid game people like to mention, and we are seeing it here.
Dude, we're going to continue to say this throughout the split. That's a bold time for wave clear. But we're not going to say that. We're going to see a lot of her.
There's a bold time for wave clear under Caps. Running for hills. Sacre ain't going to sidestep there. He's now going to try to find the knockup, but a bit of embarrassment as that one will not connect. Limit, though.
This is not a good fight for
on the backside. Jenax now stepping forward. G2 retreating.
Look at these Zoe bubbles. They're going to go over the wall.
Ooh, that's a sleepy Leona.
All right, G2 are backing away.
Mikyx style points, I suppose. Recall denied there. But another trouble bubble hitting. Ooh.
He's played Zoe before.
Yeah.
He's played her bot lane.
Yeah.
I remember.
That was the first game, wasn't it?
It was.
The sniper comp with the Zoe,
Yep.
Jace, Karthus. That was, we'll call it wholesome. Wholesome.
The zero fun for my opponent's composition.
Yeah, but it's
also known as locking in Aphelios or Senna nowadays. That's the whole comp thing.
As long as I'm having fun, why do they need to have fun, Ender?
They don't. SK are still having a little bit of fun, though. I'll give them that. The last few team fights haven't been great. Still pretty close in gold.
I don't know if fun's the word for it, but see, the thing is, I'm still cautiously optimistic because once again, Jenax is a player that I've had my eye on since last year. You kind of wonder if those 1 or 2 good performances he had were just one-offs or more consistent. Honestly, his movement, his fights have been pretty solid individually, but G2 as a team have just been outclassing. So I wonder if we get later, if we might see some of those miracle Cassio moments where you find the perfect ult to kind of turn the game back in their
Well,
favor.
the thing is, for sure, this is not a game that Jenax can, like, 1v5, right? Like,
No.
that's very apparent here. I think he does need to play very well in these fights, especially to dodge away from, Jankos is going to be coming around looking for a kick. There's a level 13 Wunder on the other side. That Aatrox's going to be doing a whole lot of damage too, so he has to be very mindful of those. But really, I don't think it's him that's starting off a fight, right? SK need to be able to find a fight in a tight corridor, and that's where something like the mountain map could be very useful.
Sacre, maybe looking for the fight. Definitely a tight corridor.
Again, more walls for Sacre to jam his face into and get the knock up.
Yeah, that was definitely how we should describe that.
Jam your face into walls.
I think you misunderstand the headbutt. It's not a face butt. It's this part. It's that part.
I mean, I don't think it's necessarily like, I think it's a little obscure, The head is
large
got a lot of
area.
different sides to it, 5 sides, you can't really neck butt,
Yeah.
This is going off the
We'll let the
rails.
UFC commentators know that they need a better word.
Regardless, that's what Ornn does. He jams his face into the wall.
That one. Well, we got another game on our hands where it looks like G2 are cleanly the favorites to win. The thing that I like about this game, unlike the last Misfits vs. Fnatic game, is that SK have the tools. They've got the theoretical wombo combo, that there is always that potential for a comeback.
And now they've got the items too, right? And I'm not talking about, your second item on your AD carry. I'm talking about the Ornn items. I'm
That's
talking
right.
about the scaling.
Bam.
That's what I'm looking forward to. Every time I see Infinity Edge, I get sad because in development it was called the Edge of Madness, and I thought that was the sickest thing ever, and now it's, I don't know.
Bolton Edge. Bolton Edge.
Who cares?
Edge of Madness. It doesn't really inspire madness, though. It's like 25 AD. Madness. Like, what? Never heard of an extra pickaxe?
The items used to be pretty cool.
All right.
There was a time.
Dude, how much of your casting is just flaming the development team?
I'm not blaming the development team.
The items used to be pretty
I am
cool.
their advocate. I'm their advocate. I just think stats are kind of lame.
It's like, oh my. Do we have any terrible Ender solo queue stats that we can get up, stats team? Don't show them my win rate. Mr. Stats are kind of lame. All right, G2 though, looking for the setup here, looking for the flank. Jenax has to be careful. Sacre with the ult has the potential to get something kicked off. Mikyx trying to farm the engage. We'll get multiple people now knocked down, but Crownshot to the backside, still uncontested. This is a good fight for SK. Jankos goes golden, but it might not be enough. Trick still in the back line. Jenax trying to finish off these kills. The entire fight is collapsing. 5 members still strong, only a single kill so far. They have to be careful though. Perkz on the Zoe can't just chase down the entire team. Kills might be in favor of SK, but the pressure very heavily in the favor of G2. Really, Jankos the only one suffering. Oh, flash over. They got him. This is going to be it. He's grounded. He should be taken out. He has an extra flash. He can now make it out to safety. Mikyx, they have to be careful, but Jenax is still untouched. Cap's going to try to come in on the backside. Very much a back and forth exchange. Sacre will find the knockup. Sleepy though on the Cassio. The cleanse is not there. That's going to be Jenax getting taken down. All it took was one Sleepy trouble bubble. Caps, does he have enough? The flag drag forward. The flash forward. Crownshot! That's the pop-up play!
Perkz just barely gets out of there. He still has mana though. I wonder if he wants to stick around, just look for the bubbles. This fight was crazy, but it almost feels exactly how it should play out, right? SK with the initial combo, it looks good. They get the first kill, but then thought Perkz was gonna do a little bit more there.
Got the extra flash.
No, he's good. He's good. But then as soon as the fight gets scrappy, that's where G2's comp is going to take over. We saw them win fights earlier based on really impressive flanks, but in the front to back, you have to remember this should be SK favored. It is only when you get Wunder coming in with the big lifesteal towards the end of the fight, Perkz with that poke on the Zoe as well, that it really should be turning around. We can watch this one more time too, because SK find this corridor to try to take the fight into. They're able to stun up Mikyx a little bit at the first, and they deny a ton of damage from Caps. Caps has to hit onto the front line of Trick, who has the stopwatch as well, and then flashes away. So Caps doesn't get as much DPS off in the fight as he would have liked to. But then SK say, hey, let's try and turn it around. It looks good, right? Limit flashes over the wall, catches out on towards Perkz, but they aren't able to finish the kill, and that's when they realize they are way too far forward because Wunder's still full HP, and then Jenax gets hit by this bubble. Does Perkz use the Ornn? Well, okay, I thought for a second Perkz was going to use the Ornn Q to extend the range.
No.
I thought that was going to be insane.
Definitely looked like it hit Crownshot, but we'll give the benefit of the doubt there. And I love the aggressive flash forward. That is moments away from securing a kill. And now SK feeling a lot more confident, barreling down mid lane. Next Drake in 1:30, they can set up some vision there, and it is all flat AD for Crownshot. That ult is going to hit hard. After that, attacking very slow. But that ult, something you have to respect.
Yeah. The weird situation that SK are in now is that Sacre would love to hand out some Ornn upgrades, you know, as soon as he gets another level under his belt, but none of his teammates are building Ornn items. Trick can't build anything because he's not making much.
Full tank Jarvan.
Yeah, he's full tank Jarvan.
In 2020.
And Jenax has Leandries. He's not getting towards a Rabadons or a Zhonya's perhaps. Those are the couple of ones you can look for the upgrade on. So even though you have access to this very powerful passive in terms of just granting you those raw, exciting stats. I know you love stats, Jankos. You tell me all the time, stats, stats, stats. They're not going to have those.
That felt a lot like a personal attack there, buddy.
Yeah, well, you were trying to tell me that I was like flaming the balance team or something.
All right, now the fight is kicking off. That's going to be the stun. Perkz has now been locked at the follow-up is there too. Perkz has to be careful, but now the Aatrox right into the back line. Crownshot and Jenax just food to be taken out. Oh my God, that was a meat grinder. I said SK had the Wombo combo. I was dead wrong. G2 are obliterating SK. Perkz is 1v1ing the video, and he manages to win in the end. Victory for solo queue players everywhere.
Limit deserved the 1v1 kill. He was trying so hard, but G2 just smashed SK right there. 5-4-0. Look at the damage. It's not just Caps on his 3-item Xayah. It's also Wunder getting those massive AoE Qs onto the entirety of SK and just ripping them apart.
Fantastic fight. Can't wait to watch it again. Sadly, this might just be the final nail in the coffin because this is Dragon Soul on top of Baron, and it's the Mountain Soul too, so there will be no poking for the SK lineup before a fight. They have to all in and win if they want to come out on top.
Yeah, they're like, the Mountain Soul, yes, that is Crownshot's entire ultimate damage. We'll just block it all.
Have you never played against an MF? That's a lot less.
I've played against MF, but right now when she dies instantly, it doesn't look good, because at the start, it does. But Mikyx in the backline with the double charm, no DPS comes down, and then Aatrox Xayah just completely massacre them. They didn't stand a chance. It's all Mikyx right there. It's really all Mikyx to start it up and set up for the rest of the squad.
Well, also Perkz hit like the max long range Sleepy Trouble Bubble on the Crownshot.
That was cool.
Also good. But you know it's a good argument. We're arguing about which G2 member carried a fight. And
look,
like,
they all did something.
And this is where it becomes an absolute nightmare. Because the Mountain Shield, honestly not that relevant. I feel like that's one of the weakest Dragon Souls. But the fact that they have Baron buff and a Zoe means this Zoe is just going to keep poking. And once a single Trouble Bubble connects, it's very likely someone will die.
This tower going to go down very soon as well, and that means you don't get to enter into your jungle either. You don't get to enter now. Oh, man. SK, we keep setting up, wait for that perfect combo, but now it is Trick coming around on the back line. But Caps has flash. He has ult. Perkz has flash too, so you just can't make this stick.
Okay. What's the strat here? That is a huge knockup. Maybe that will be enough. The ulti comes over the wall, but Perkz flashes right out. A little bit questionable for Crownshot. Now the TP's coming in. There's going to be an Aatrox right to the back line, but a perfect stun comes in from Jenax. Sadly, not enough. Wunder flashes in, not afraid whatsoever as Jankos will try to finish the job, but has he overstayed his welcome? Still laying down a bit of damage. Goes the wrong way. Not what they need in Jankos. He's still alive. G2, all five still standing as two drop from the side of SK.
How does he do it? The man is just full of courage. Jankos goes all the way under the tower to punch Jenax in the face before getting out with just a sliver, and this one's all but over. Jankos, they're just going to run it straight down this bot lane, break the base. Without the ultimates, SK can't do anything.
Oh, and this is brutal because now Perkz just gets to walk in, he gets to poke, he gets to threaten. Trouble Bubble will go a little bit long here, but G2 are going to break one tower. Mid lane being broken by Jankos. In the meantime, Wunder walking face first into the waiting arms of Wunder. Happy to stat pad a little bit more, but for SK, looks like this is going to be it.
Going for the double inhib now. Oh, SK stuck under the fountain. That's a big Q, but half HP onto Jenax. He's relegated to go back for more HP, and now we're on to the Nexus towers, Jankos.
Just going to be breaking them down. They're going to go in. Mikyx wants to get the follow-up. That's going to be one Crownshot potentially next on the list. MF ult on the way. Just a few seconds until the cooldown comes up, and I don't think it's going to be enough. The entire team are deleting him. The Sleepy Trouble Bubble will connect on Trick. I think Trick is next. I think we want to do it. A farewell to arms to an old brother from the G2 lineup. A double kill for Perkz, and another fantastic performance from G2 as they close out with a 2-0 week.
It's always a fun game with G2 on the Rift, and once again, early game looked like there was some competition there between G2 and SK, but you can just see a level of class in the way this squad approaches team fights. Every single player stepping up when it matters most, just the cohesion of maintaining your roster from season to season. The only team in the LEC that did it, and they looked like they were all on the same page.
And this is one of the things that G2 were first kind of praised for, was the fact that all the players are incredible individually and mechanically, and the level of kind of innate understanding between this roster is so high that there's not a lot of need for communication in a team fight. Everyone understands their role, they do what they need to do, they call targets, and that's all it takes, and they play the entire team fight out. Almost like one person, like almost like one mind, five people.
Yeah.
It's often what it looks like when G2 are really popping off.
It's actually
fights.
Grabs backstage. He's like hooked up the cybernetic machine. He's just controlling all 5 computers.
The puppet master.
Is that what he does? I think he does something like that.
Sure. Why not? Let's boost the
He doesn't
Grabs.
get paid for the drafts, right?
He gets paid.